is artificial intelligence making it easier to write and read, question and answer, classify and understand? We'll find out next. Welcome to SC21 TV. I'm your host, Charla Bokikio. SC21 TV will be live throughout the conference this week, giving you in-depth interviews with HPC leaders. And I'm here now with Professor Laurent. They gave me a phonetic pronunciation on the teleprompter and it messed me up. Daudet.
Daudet, that's perfect.
Welcome. So is this, have you been to St. Louis before?
No, it's first time in St. Louis.
Yeah,
I love it.
Good. Have you seen the arch yet?
Of course, my hotel is just next to it.
Great, great. A beautiful view. I went there yesterday. So tell me, what is Lighton? I know that's your organization. Give us a little bit of information about that and what you do.
Okay, so thanks for the interview. So Lighton is it's a small startup based in Paris, France. We are a spin-off from University Research. And we do massive scale AI. You probably heard of GPT-3, these language models and so on. And this new generation of AI, it brings a lot of interesting opportunities for businesses. Like, it's going to completely change the way we interact with texts mostly, but also with images and all sorts of data. So I think this opens new opportunities, especially with the fact that these new models, they do things they have not been trained for. That's new in AI, really, compared to the past generation. And the dark side of it, if I may say, is that they require massive amounts of compute just to get trained, these models. So at Lighton, not only we build this model and we also sell access to these models, but we also build hardware to train these models and to also train other type of big AI computations. So I'm here to present our photonic devices that can do that with light. Using light is interesting in a way that you can do these massive computations with much less power than you would do with silicon.
Very interesting. So, this is your first year as an exhibitor at SC.
Yes.
What led to your decision to exhibit?
So I was at Supercomputing 2 years ago in Denver, but in the technical presentation, I was giving a talk on our technology, and I was completely overwhelmed by so many interesting things to see in the exhibition as well. So I really decided that we had to go there to present our technology, because that's a good way both to get exposure and also to learn what are the latest trends in HPC.
Right.
Really.
So what can the attendees expect when they stop by your booth? Why should they come by?
I'll be in my booth. I'm describing what we do with this photonic coprocessor. So this is really the core of our presentation, and I can explain what's inside the technology, how to use that, some benchmarks, or everything they should learn about how to use our appliance.
Right, which makes a lot more sense than just reading about it, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yes.
Good. So given the current projects that you're working on, what can we be looking forward to in 2022 and beyond? What's in the future for Lighton and for you?
So 2022 will be an exciting year for us. Both we'll have our language model such as similar to GPT-3, but in European languages, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and German. Did I say English? Of course. They will be. We will release our API on that. So this is on the AI language side. On the hardware side, besides continuing our photonic devices, we also go quantum as well. So we'll have a quantum accelerator as well.
Wow, that's a lot of really great stuff to look forward to in the future. I assume you're coming to Dallas next year.
I hope so.
Excellent. Good. You know what? I'm curious about your experience being in person, obviously this year, and especially with the exhibit hall being what it is. What do you see are the benefits to attending in person when people are able to?
Yeah, I think it's nothing can replace in-person conversation. I think next year we'll be able to make a live demo of our technology. That's something that's hard to do if you are virtual. And I think I really believe in serendipity, the way you would discover things, like just by walking through the aisles of the exhibit, you would maybe discover some technology. It has happened to me many times in the past, and I hope it's also something that will happen for visitors with our booth.
Right. I think that's a really important element too of in-person, is that those serendipitous moments, things that were unplanned, that, you know, when you're in the virtual world, you've got your plan,
exactly,
and you don't get distracted by some new person that you meet, and then the conversation
And then
happens.
you're at home, you make coffee. And
So I love that. I think it's really important. Anything else that you want our viewers to know about Lighton? Anything else that we didn't cover?
Yeah, I think we have. I'm very excited about some major announcement that we'll do tomorrow. So I can give you a preview.
A little sneak peek.
Sneak peek. So tomorrow we'll have one of our devices to be installed in one of Europe's largest supercomputers. So I guess this is a world premiere of optical computing meets supercomputing, and I'm very excited about that.
That's wonderful. And when is that going to happen tomorrow?
Well, it's going to happen tomorrow, sometime during the day, but we'll make some announcements.
It'll be a secret, okay.
Secret, yes. We'll make some announcements in due time.
Need to stay tuned for information about it, I suppose. If you were to talk to our social media viewers that are watching this right now, any advice about attending these conferences in person? What do they need to not miss when they're going to the exhibit hall? How do they make sure that they don't miss your booth? Things like that, you know, I mean, any advice about planning for future conferences?
I know schedule is always very tight, so planning is important, but please, I think people have to talk to people, just talk and not just watch what's on show, but talk to the people, and that's
and listen.
I think that, and listen, of course, but I'd like to hear as well what are not only to show what I have to show, but also to hear what are the requirements from the clients. I'd like to hear the future needs, not only the needs of today, but what they will need tomorrow as well. So it's important that people talk to us as well.
So I'm always curious, because as an individual who's not in the supercomputing world myself, I'm always wanting to know, in layman's terms, what is important about the work you do with Lighton? Like, how does it translate to that human? What's important to me as an individual? Well,
okay, maybe I don't know. Some analogy I can make is. I guess you may have internet through fiber optics through the cable, and it really boosts the performance of compared to what you had before.
Right.
And so we want to do the same with computing. Computers now are made only with silicon technology, and we want to have the same boost with light in the computing domain as well.
Right. That makes sense. Great. Thank you for explaining it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, on a personal note, I've been asking some of my guests a fun fact about them, something surprising, doesn't have to do with computing. What's something that's interesting about you that people might not know? As an interesting skill that you have, or a pet? I don't know. Any little tidbit of information?
Well, all my employees know that, but I'm obsessed with food.
With food?
With food, yes.
So you're
like I'm a real French person, so
you live
that's
up
how
to the stereotype. What's your
exactly.
favorite? What's your favorite food? If you had to live off only one food for the rest of your life?
Asian food, Japanese food.
Interesting.
I love it.
All right. Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you, Laurent. I
Thank you so much.
appreciate your time.
I appreciate that.
So for the rest of you, stay tuned for the latest in high-performance computing from SC21 TV. Make sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and please plan to attend in person next year at SC22 in Dallas. I'm Charla Bokikio.